One Zambia, one nation. Welcome to Zanis News. I am Alice Banda to be with you, and our sign language interpreter is John Chulu. Let's take a look at the stories making headlines. President Hichilema commissions Lusaka Ndola Dual Carriageway project. Public Service Change Management Initiative launched. Slow implementation of CDF projects worry government. Plus, Kalomo receives relief maize. And now the news in detail. President Hakainde Hichilema has officially launched the groundbreaking for the construction of a 327 kilometers Lusaka Ndola and the Fisenga Masangano Dual Carriageway. The construction works, which will be done under a public-private partnership at a cost of $650 million United States dollars, is expected to address the increasing cases of road traffic accidents and reduce traffic congestion, among many other benefits. Michelle Olwinda now gives us the details of the story.
The long-awaited construction of a 327 kilometers Lusaka Ndola dual carriageway has finally started. President Hakainde Hichilema led the groundbreaking ceremony to symbolize the commencement of the construction works. The $650 million United States dollars works, which are expected to be done in 36 months, will be done under the public-private partnership. President Hichilema says government is committed to provide sustainable infrastructure development in the country.
The difference is that if you allocate limited resources on consumption expenditure, it's gone. But when you allocate resources on consumption expenditure, it's gone. I repeat, gone and gone. But when you allocate resources on investment expenditure, it breeds more revenues, more income. It breeds jobs. It brings a market. It breeds other businesses to come along. That's the difference. The choice is yours. What sort of leadership do you want as Zambians? You want those who borrowed money and consumed it? Or you want those who didn't even borrow on this road, who didn't even use 1/4 of taxpayers' money, but we were ingenious enough through the public-private partnership and we're developing an investment like this one? The choice is yours.
And Central Province Minister highlighted some of the challenges that were experienced as a result of the poor road network.
What you have done, Your Excellency, is something that is historical, is something that we as Zambians have been longing for. Lives have been lost on this road. Just as we speak, we remember of a day when we were officiating with one of your ministers, Honorable Siakalima, at Mulungushi University. Right there and then, there was an accident. A graduate who should have seen himself putting on a gown and getting a job one day could not make it.
The Chinese government has also pledged support to Zambia in its infrastructure modernization project.
Imperative that we review what we have done together and come up with new ideas and models of cooperation. The involvement of a consortium consists of a number of Chinese business in this project speaks volume to the readiness of the Chinese business community to innovate their ways of cooperation in this country to better cater for local needs, which the Chinese government supports wholeheartedly and will facilitate whenever possible.
Infrastructure and Urban Development Minister gave an overview of the project.
Of this project include the following: reduce travel times between Lusaka and the Copperbelt province, as there will be continuous flow of traffic because of the road being a dual carriageway. Enhanced safety as a result of dualization and the development of the road to international standards. The road will also be maintained and managed according to international standards for such highways.
Michelle Olwinda for Zanis in Kapirimposhi, Central Province.
Now a roundup stories of the Lusaka Ndola dual carriageway. Government has commissioned the long-awaited rehabilitation project of the 48-kilometer Masangano Fisenge Luansha Road, part of the $650 million United States dollar Lusaka dual carriageway project. Minister of Transport and Communications, Frank Tayali, spearheaded the groundbreaking ceremony in Luansha district along Masangano Fisenge Road in Kafubu block. Karen has the details.
Preparations for the long-awaited construction works of the Masangano Fisenge Luansha Road as part of the Lusaka dual carriageway project have begun. The contractor, Avik International, is already on site. The works are expected to be launched by President Hakainde Hichilema next week. The decision by the government to start the Copper Belt works, beginning with the Fisenge Luansha Road, has cheered the local authority.
This is part of the PPP, which was signed some time back. And today we have moved on the Luansha town road, which is about 11 kilometers long stretch. So all equipment and more equipment will be here tomorrow. So we want to give this P1 because it is a road that is used by so many people. The largest population of Luansha, the road users, and they use this road 24/7. They are all coming from the town.
The local community is filled with hope.
There were too many potholes and we had too many promises. It's only now that we are seeing seriousness. We thank the government. Things will be okay now and there will be less accidents since the road is being worked on.
Currently, the contractor has marked the road and commenced clearing a bypass for road users. Karen Mshenywa, Zanis, Luansha District.
And government says the construction of the Lusaka dual carriageway will facilitate the smooth transportation of goods and services as well as attract investment in the region. Minister of Green Economy and Environment, Collins Nzovu, says the upgrading of the road into a dual carriageway is part of government's commitment towards attaining economic transformation as espoused in the 8th National Development Plan. Zanis staffer Audrey Kalenga reports that Mr. Nzovu was speaking during the groundbreaking ceremony for the construction of the 327-kilometer Lusaka dual carriageway in Chibombo.
The 327-kilometer stretch, anticipated to spur economic development, fully funded by Micro Oceans Investment Consortium under the public-private partnership model. The Lusaka dual carriage project will also include the rehabilitation of the 45-kilometer Luansha Fisenge Masangano Road. Minister of Green Economy and Environment Collins Nzovu graced the Chibombo site event for the construction of the road.
However, the road project you are about to embark on, Mr. President, and the economic zone which you recently commissioned for job creation and business opportunities, resulting in enhanced household income levels. This project will therefore make the commercial and subsistence farmers double their production and not let their perishable agricultural produce go to waste, as you will now provide them with a good transport network to carry their farm produce to the markets.
Chisamba Member of Parliament Chush Kasanda said the road will foster economic empowerment through subcontracting local contractors. Speaking at the same event, Chief Leader of the Lenje-speaking people commended the government for the expansion of the road as it will help farmers in his chiefdom conduct business. Stali Mungole is a business owner in Chibombo who stresses the challenges faced when ordering goods from Lusaka.
Now finish almost 23 years of business here. So much challenges I'm going to quarter. nga waya ku Lusaka pa kugwera limbi nga waya kwati kuma 15 hours okuba tubwera okufuma kuno tulafika omusanango 20 to 21 because ichirere nga shinonshuku irere ngokweba ati road naicheka.
Traders also shared their happiness on the expansion of the road.
Ndamukoda 20 tumatekinga time itali so manje akatipangirako ma road monga zambo enda koro twice a day kwendo order because inshankarako easy.
President Hakainde Hichilema officially commissioned the Lusaka-Ndola dual carriageway in Kapiri today, where he was joined by other cabinet ministers. Audrey Kalenga for Zanis in Chibombo, Central Province.
Minister of Technology and Science Felix Mutati says the 20% on the Lusaka-Ndola dual carriageway project will equip local companies with expertise and life-transforming wealth creation, and road users are eagerly anticipating the completion of the construction works of the dual carriageway. Mutalekani gives us this report.
Despite the $650 million United States dollar worth 327-kilometer Lusaka-Ndola dual carriageway construction works officially commencing now, road users are already eagerly anticipating the completion of the project. The road users are happy that the upgrading of the Lusaka-Ndola road to a dual carriageway will have economic and safety benefits. In its current state, the road has claimed many lives over the years. But when the road transforms into a dual carriageway, the road users expect road carnage to come to an end.
It's a long overdue because we've waited for this for a long time now. But seeing this event that is taking place here, I think it is kick-starting our hope.
As a driver, I'm talking from experience. From the word go, a road is a very big development. Where development is concerned, the road must be there. Because if you have a good road, you will reach on time.
Tavera buno maningi, tizamboenda buno maningi. Chifuka tizera na challenge ya conversation. Choka pa 6 months, bofika pa 10 months, don't 3 hours.
And Chieftainess Mongole, who spoke through a representative, asked the local people who have settled around the area where the road is being constructed to cooperate with the contractor.
Her Highness is requesting for others that built within the premises where the road is passing, that let's cooperate with the orders that be. Where peace is, development is there.
Minister of Technology and Science, Felix Mutati, who officiated at the event, says the 20% local subcontracting on the Lusaka-Ndola dual carriageway project will equip local companies with expertise and life-transforming wealth creation.
20% of the total contract of this road, which is $650 million, 20% of that figure, 20% yamali ayo abandogwa papa is supposed to be given to Zambian subcontractors. So Zambian subcontractors will now have an opportunity to be able to be engaged and work with AVIC.
Royal Highness, as you may be aware, Lusaka province has a large population of about 3.7 million as compared to other provinces. Hence, this project will enhance economic benefits.
The Lusaka-Ndola dual carriageway upgrade project will undoubtedly have economic benefits as it connects different provinces, and it will also save many lives. As we all know, this road has led to many fatalities over the years. Mtalekani for Zanis News in Katuba, Central Province.
Thank you, Mutale, for that story. We continue with the news. Government has launched the Public Service Change Management Initiative with the key objective to enhance a holistic, efficient, and effective public service. Launching the initiative in Lusaka, Secretary to the Cabinet, Patrick Kangwa, disclosed that the initiative will be rolled out to all government ministries across the country in a period of 18 months. Wupe Sendwe has more in this story.
Despite efforts by the government to strengthen the public service, it has proven difficult to monitor and measure the cumulative impact, as each public institution has its own change initiative model and metrics. In an effort to bring the various change initiatives under one performance dashboard, the government, in partnership with cooperating partners, has launched the Public Service Change Management Initiative.
This is the beginning of a movement. This is the beginning of an era. An era because we have to start envisioning now what Zambia we want at 100. Yes, we are Zambia at 60. But so what sort of public services do we want for Zambia at 100? What type of civil servant do we want? I know change is always forward-looking, but I think at this point we are trying to see how we can get back the civil servant of 1964. The civil servant that was diligent, that was honest, that had integrity, that was professional, that was punctual. A civil servant that had the heart of the people first before himself.
Launching the initiative, Secretary to the Cabinet Patrick Kangwa stressed the importance of change management and cultural remodeling to promote enhanced productivity.
Continuous change and improvement are essential to ensure that the public service remains effective in serving the Zambian people. Change is inevitable, and in today's rapidly evolving world, it is our ability to manage and adapt to change that will define our success as a country. In light of this, it gives me immense pride to officially launch the initiative to develop and implement a comprehensive public service management framework that will run for a period of 18 months to be rolled out to all government institutions, including the local authorities.
And cooperating partners have stated the need for a structured and systematic approach in the implementation of such a process.
As complex as this task is, that's probably mostly the easier task. But implementing them, managing them, sustaining them, that's probably the harder and more difficult task. An integral part of managing the change processes then means that we need to define and describe the change, also ensuring that we know how to measure it, how to communicate the change and the benefits that may arise thereof, and also to say what has to change so that we are able, and also the citizens are able to see the change happening.
The initiative is a pathway to the transformation of a more efficient, effective, and responsive public service for the Zambian citizenry. Wupe Sendwe for Zanis in Lusaka.
Local Government Service Commission Chairperson Axon Sejani has expressed displeasure at the slow implementation of the Constituency Development Fund projects by some local authorities in Eastern Province and the country as a whole. Mr. Sejani says despite the Commission recruiting qualified staff in all the positions, there are still some gaps in the utilization of CDF. Sylvester Shimba gives us the details.
Rate at which Constituency Development Fund projects are being implemented by local authorities in Eastern Province and the country as a whole. Mr. Sejani says principal officers in local authorities must effectively work to ensure that CDF projects are worked on without delay when monies were already disbursed.
There are reports of deliberate, if not deliberate, observed delays in the utilization or non-utilization of CDF funds. In spite of the fact that the money is available and the people are desirous of development, some of our local authorities are moving at a pace which is less than adequate. We have been told that initially we had teething problems as the reason why we are not moving that well. We were told also further that there were administrative and legislative rigidities that made it not possible for our local authorities to move at a desired speed in implementing CDF projects. We have refused to take those as reasons why. The objective of the CDF was to create an enabling environment for holistic development at the constituency level, where members of parliament and the local community have the opportunity to make choices and implement projects which would improve the well-being of the people in the respective constituencies. The significant expansion of Zambia's Constituency Development Fund by the new Dawn government provides an important opportunity to make service delivery responsive to public needs.
And Chipata City Mayor George Mwanza made an appeal to the Commission.
Mr. Chairperson, I would like to say that as a civic leader and as a young civic leader, I'm personally in a hurry to see development at the local level. And your officers are key to actualizing that development so that we can make a much needed impact on the lives of our people. And Mr. Chairperson, you're coming, we hope that it will be able to inspire these principal officers, empower them with the capacity to lead various municipalities with the courage that they need. As leaders at the local level and our people do not expect 30 reasons why a road cannot be marked. Honorable Chairperson, we expect answers and action from our officers because they are trained to execute development at the local level and assist the government and the president to deliver on the aspirations and expectations of the people.
USID Local Impact Governance Project Chief of Party, Wilfred Mwamba, has commended the Commission for its role in the decentralization process.
We are a project that's set up to support Zambia's decentralization agenda, working in 3 provinces, in Eastern Province, Central Province and Muchinga Province, across all 34 districts. And we support the government through 3 key objectives. The first one is to encourage citizen engagement, so building the capacity of citizens, particularly through the ward development committees, to participate in local governance. The second objective is to ensure that the local authorities have the capabilities and the skills to be able to deliver for the Zambian people. So there we look at the local authorities' ability to raise finances, the local authorities' ability to provide services such as solid waste management, and to ensure that their staff are able to manage public finances in a diligent, honest and ethical manner.
Sylvester Shimba for Zanis in Chipata District.
First Lady Mutinta Hijilema has donated assorted items to the people of Mpulungu District. The items were delivered to Mpulungu District by United Party for National Development Chairman General William Banda. We have more in this report by Christine Muselu.
These are some of the items that the First Lady Mutinta Hijilema has donated to the people of Mpulungu District. The items were delivered by United Party for National Development Chairman General for Special Duties William Banda.
The passion the First family is giving to people, this is what we need in this country. So those who cannot manage to walk, the First Lady has given them wheelchairs, including crutches. So many exchange materials. And also they have received assorted items, bills. Each ward has benefited. This is what we need in this country.
Beneficiaries are grateful to the First Lady for the support.
Mkantaija kona kulia maya na kateka mkutaija umwanzo leza ayapale yatualilile yatatela paliswa sokweni yakazo kona yaunze kutaija sana
ale male tudakwa tinikitile ya mpomvu akaungwe kayantwale male kakuya kakukula pamulando wakuti tukupokela amavya aulema kupitila umunjandwala ichitusanitusani kutamwe kaungwe kakula pamulando ulema au tufile twachepa panongu ngakaunga katampukula yene mumuna mungatwazwa mungafumapo.
Meanwhile, the party in the province had this to say.
Leko mutwaleko kutotera okalamba sana kuli ba First Lady olukwa lwabo ikibabomba kuno kintu kimo kyakutira ati kyatwangusha bone kisendo kimo kyetwakwete anti nomba at least imyendere yabo yara bako yambukako.
Mselo, reporting for Zanis in Mpulungu.
From Pulungu, we move to Kafue. Over 1,000 households in Kafue district have received relief maize under the Disaster Management and Mitigation Unit as a response to the drought that was experienced in the area. Kafue District Commissioner Maurice Hikapulwe says so far 13 out of 18 wards have received the maize, while the 5 remaining areas will soon receive their allocation. Details in the following report by Naomi Piri.
It is a sound of jubilation from the beneficiaries of the drought response relief maize. About 1,066 households in Kafue have so far received the relief maize for the vulnerable population. Kafue District Commissioner Maurice Hikapulwe said 13 out of 18 wards of Kafue have received the drought response relief maize.
So far, we've given out with some vulnerables. We've given, I think, 1,066 households in 15 wards. 13 wards rather. The other 5 are yet to be covered, and projects for food for work have been identified. They submitted from the wards by the councillors and WDCs. So soon, anytime, we shall start to do the projects that have been given to us by the council.
Kambale Ward Councillor said the drought response relief maize will go a long way in mitigating the hunger situation in his ward following the devastating effects of the drought.
Ever since it was declared as a disaster for this country, and for sure no one has been left out. Kambale Ward is one of the wards that have benefited from this input.
Meanwhile, the beneficiaries thanked the government for the relief food. Reporting, I'm Nampiri.
In a related story, the Disaster Management and Mitigation Unit has allocated the first consignment of 200 metric tons of relief white maize to avert hunger among households in Kalomo District. Kalomo District Commissioner Joshua Sikaduli flagged off the distribution exercise. Details in this report.
The distribution of relief food to the hunger-stricken have started in Kalomo District of Southern Province. District Commissioner Joshua Sikaduli flagged off the distribution exercise of the 200 metric tons of white maize under the Disaster Management and Mitigation Unit, DMMU. The commodity is to be distributed to the identified beneficiaries in the 20 wards of Kalomo.
You may realize that Kalomo district is amongst of the district that has been considered to get food relief from the government through the FRA. Here today, we are officially flagging it off in the rural areas should not die with hunger.
Witnessing the flagging off of the relief food to communities, Mwata Ward Councillor Louise Madenkuku thanked the government for its assistance.
We want to thank the government, and we want also to say this is indeed a testimony of the many promises of the President of the Republic of Zambia, Mr. Hakainde Hichilema, that he has always walked the talk.
The project implementing partner, the Environmental Conservation Trust, promises to do the distribution of the commodity according to the DMMU guidelines.
We shall do our level best to ensure that each household receives this relief food as the guidelines.
Over 40,000 households in Kalomo have been affected with the last farming season's drought and are in dire need of relief food. Reporting, Martin Masheko in Kalomo, Zanis, Southern Province.
In education news, Western Province Minister Kapelwa Mbangweta has called on people across the country to refrain from burning forests and plains, as such acts contribute to climate change. Mr. Mbangweta, who is also Nkeema Member of Parliament, said this during the handover of a newly constructed classroom block at Mabunji Primary School in Lombe Ward. From the district, Enoch Kaneta now reports.
Government has constructed a 1x3 classroom block in Nkeema district using the 2023 Constituency Development Fund in order to reduce the long distances pupils covered to access education. Nkeema Town Council has handed over this new infrastructure to Mavuji community in Lombe Ward. Nkeema Town Council Director of Finance Elvis Mbita represented the council secretary.
This project was constructed using the 2023 CDF funds at a cost of 706,116. The construction period was 5 months, but we are glad to report that the contractor executed the work in 3 months. This demonstrates capacity of the local contractors to handle projects of this magnitude.
Nkeema Member of Parliament, Kapelwa Mbangweta, who officiated the event, has urged residents to cooperate with government to desist from contributing to climate change.
Because of global warming, which has caused this drought which has engulfed us now, the government is requesting all of us from this year, when we prepare our fields, let's not burn the fields. The government is requesting us to start planting trees. That is what will help all of us. Please, when the people who come here, who will come to register people, please get yourself registered, because if you don't get registered, it will be very difficult for you to get assistance from the government.
The District Education Board Secretary was at hand to receive the infrastructure.
The construction of this block in this community has uplifted the standards, not only in the education sector, but also in the economic as well. This 1x3 classroom block shall create a conducive learning and teaching environment for our children and the teachers, which will surely improve literacy levels led by the government efforts to enhance education accessibility and quality in our district.
The people of Mavuji are also Zambians, so they should also benefit from the national cake. It is important that all departments should bring development to this area.
Residents have expressed their gratitude for the massive development the district is receiving through CDF.
To tell you the truth, today I'm very shocked because of the development taking place, not only in here. Schools are being built, employment, social cash transfer, and everything that a normal government is supposed to do.
Currently, Mabuji Primary School has a total of over 300 pupils. Enoch Kaneta for Zanis in Nkeema District, Western Province.
Let's take a break. More stories when we return.
Woman Thou Art is a program that offers counsel to the female folk, sharing real-life experiences and providing guidance to the women and young girls on necessary steps and conducts that will help shape and nurture a sober society. Watch Woman Thou Art on Zanis TV every Wednesday at 18:30 hours on the Topster channel, channel 6 DTT, and channel 458 DTH.
The Issue is a program that looks at topical issues happening in the country. Watch The Issue every Friday at 19:30 hours, only on Zanis TV, Channel 6 DTT and Channel 458 DTH on Topstar. Don't miss.
Welcome back. Now join us on the health segment. The Muslim Social and Welfare Trust, in collaboration with the Ministry of Health, have conducted the 17th Community Medical Outreach Camp at Chongwe Secondary School. Over 3,000 residents from various communities in the district turned up to access free medical services at the outreach camp. Minister of Health, Sylvia Masebo, who is also Chongwe Constituency Member of Parliament, urged residents to take advantage of the outreach program to access medical services which are not always available in their communities. Still in the news, stakeholders have called on government to provide health institutions with sign language interpreters and braille facilities to ensure there is no discrimination against people living with disabilities. We have more in the following report.
Stakeholders, including community members, the civil society, and government institutions, among others, gathered in Chipata to discuss and make recommendations on matters pertaining to adolescents' health and rights. While answers to some concerns were provided, these people are calling for more.
Most of the facilities, there are no sign language interpreters. And also sometimes there is that segregation. Sometimes you find a blind person who want to access for condoms, even these others. They tell them that you also do these things.
There should be a law enforcing health workers to attend to adolescent girls and adolescents, both girls and boys. If they need a service, the fact that a child has come to access a service from you, it means she's trying to prevent pregnancy. If she comes to get a condom from the facility, it means that this girl knows about HIV, she's got information and she wants to have safer sex.
An adolescent below 16 goes to a health care provider or to a clinic to access SRH services. They will not be offered those services. Why? Because they've not come with who? A guardian. And that's the law. I've seen that our focus mostly is on, they have rights. They have rights. We don't educate them on their responsibilities.
The gathering was part of a project by Eastern Visionary Youths dubbed Bridging the Gap to Access Reproductive Health Rights Services.
There is need for all of our efforts to ensure that our young people in the communities are safeguarded. The young people are provided with the necessary age-appropriate information and also the empowerment opportunities that government is putting in place. We need to ensure that we work together, the council, the organizations, Ministry of Health, so that our young people can live a healthy and developmental life.
Abigail Kashweka reporting in Chipata.
Gender Division Permanent Secretary Mainga Kabika says Zambia is party to a number of international and regional gender frameworks, which include Convention on the Elimination of All Forms of Discrimination Against Women, Girls, and the Physically Challenged. Ms. Kabika says this is why the division is in Eastern Province to raise awareness among stakeholders of gender issues and impacts embedded in budget processes. Pethias Mtale has filed in this report.
The implementation of the Gender Responsive Budgeting Planning GRB by the Gender Division has gained momentum, with the division conducting sessions in some selected districts in Eastern Province. And when Gender Division Permanent Secretary Mainga Kabika paid a courtesy call on Chipata District Commissioner Eli Dabanda, explained that GRB is a budget that works for everyone.
So Gender Division has actually embarked on training all civil servants at district level, provincial level, in all the provinces before we have the main budget in September. This is a very critical training and we want everyone to pay attention to it. Eastern Province has not been left behind. This is why I'm here in Chipata, and we're going around all the other districts to train civil servants.
As you have already alluded, that a woman goes through a lot. You know, a woman has to look for firewood, a woman has to draw water, a woman has to wash for the babies, everything like that. I think when we become considerate, more considerate as a government, we'll be able at least to help in one way or another.
The division has since conducted sessions in 7 districts in the province, among them Chama district, led by Principal Gender Officer Uwebi Kamangala.
It's very important that we take into consideration the different needs of the population that we are trying to serve, so that we provide services without leaving out anyone. So we understand that the people mandated with this responsibility to provide services at district and provincial levels are the heads of departments.
We have learned a lot, I believe. And I think those gaps that were there already, we have already started seeing how we can close them, how we can reduce them.
GRB entails creating budgets that work for everyone by considering and analyzing the unique needs of different members of society. Pethias Mutale for Zanis News in Chama, Eastern Province.
And in Northwestern Province, Solwezi Central Member of Parliament Stafford Mulusa has called on people in the constituency not to lose hope, as government is committed to stabilize the economy and reduce the cost of living. Speaking when he held a community engagement meeting in Kiawama Ward, Mr. Mulusa said a number of interventions have been put in place to improve the livelihoods of citizens countrywide. More in this report.
For the past few days, Solwezi Central Member of Parliament Stafford Mulusa has been visiting his constituency to interact with community members on issues of development. Over the weekend, Mr. Mulusa was in Kiawama Ward to explain government policies and other measures put in place to improve the livelihood of citizens. He also touched on the increased cost of living. The community members in Kiawama Ward shared their CDF benefits and some of the challenges the area is facing. After concluding the tour of some wards, Mr. Mulusa gave an overview of his visit.
Noted that there's been a gap in terms of information, in terms of what the government is doing and what the people expect. But one strong issue that is coming out from the people is that they acknowledge that there is development in the new Dawn government. They have acknowledged the CDF, they have acknowledged a lot of positive changes.
For Zanis, in Solwezi District, Northwestern Province, I am Erin Lovo.
The People's Republic of China's government has implored BRICS group of countries to continue to collaborate in order to deepen multilateral relations. Department of African Affairs Division Director Wang Ming says the population of BRICS countries represent 42% of the world's population, hence the bloc has potential to dominate the global economic stage. Zanis staffer Linda Mupemo reports that Mr. Wang said this during a press briefing on the China-African Cooperation, which was held at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs in Beijing, China.
International cooperation is one of the ways of enhancing sustainable development in developing countries. To achieve this, some countries have established intergovernmental organizations such as BRICS. BRICS countries comprise emerging global economic superpowers, among them Brazil, Russia, China, and South Africa. The People's Republic of China Department of African Affairs has reaffirmed the importance of BRICS.
The vigorance of the BRICS mechanism embodies an expansion of the South-South cooperation platforms and a growth of force for peace and enlargement of the world's just front. And another important milestone is solidarity and cooperation among developing countries and the countries of the emerging market.
Forum on China-African Relations Deputy Director now shares some of the successes of the partnership.
2023, China-Africa economic and trade volume continued to grow, reaching to 228 billion US dollars. We have also been promoting our cooperation in areas such as health, in education, in science and technology, environmental protection, climate change, gender equality, and women's empowerment and youth empowerment.
Linda Mopemo for Zanis in Beijing, China.
Finally, in the news, Zambia Scrabble Association Secretary General Festo Chamba says preparations for the Scrabble Championship have heightened in Lusaka in readiness for the Pan-African Championship. The Pan-African Championship, to be held in Sierra Leone this October, will attract a number of Scrabble players from across the continent. Chamba explains that due to logistical challenges, the tournament, which was supposed to be held on 25th to 26th May, will take place on 1st to 2nd June 2024. In an interview with Zanis Sports, Chamba said to this effect, the association commenced a preparatory tournament which was held at the Bank of Zambia in readiness for the tournament. And John Cielo, a third-year medical student at University of Zambia Ridgeway campus, expressed confidence in winning the forthcoming tournament.
And so far the tournament has been good. So far so good. So today's event is a preparatory tournament. We brought in players, seasoned as well as some students from the University of Zambia, as well as some just new members that would love to be part of this game. This tournament is basically just preparing everyone for the nationals. Posts that we're making currently, just 2 weeks ago, we were at David Kaunda National STEM School where we introduced the sport. Their management had written to us to see how we can best work together.
Right.
Apart from David Kaunda, the Trident College, the Trident schools in Kansanshi, they also reached out to us, and we had a tournament from there, and they have welcomed us on board. So the Nationals event will take place here at the Bank of Zambia Sports Complex in Mass Media.
As we end the news, a reminder of the top stories that made headlines. President Hichilema commissions Lusaka Ndola Dual Carriageway project. Public Service Change Management Initiative launched. Slow implementation of CDF projects worry government. Plus, Kalomo receives relief maize. On that note, we end Zanis News. On behalf of the entire Zanis production team, not forgetting John Chulu, our sign language interpreter, I'm Alice Banda saying goodbye and God bless you.